S.O.A.P is our daily study of the Bible, featuring a scripture, an observation, an application, and a prayer. Good morning. Today's Thursday, June 10th. I'm Tom Tracy, and this is your daily S.O.A.P. Our scripture for today, Proverbs 16:33. We may throw the dice, but the Lord determines how they fall. The observation is, are you a gambling man? And the application, when we read this passage, what do you think of? What kind of mental images does it conjure up? Is it the weekend getaway you did in Las Vegas where you tried to hit it rich on the craps table? Or is it maybe that evening poker game that you played at your buddy's house where you tried to win back the 20 bucks you lost the last time? See, what if I told you you could figure out how the hand was going to unfold before you ever dealt the cards, or how the dice were going to roll and what they were going to land on before you ever cashed them? I don't believe that this proverb is talking about dice and gambling. I don't believe it has anything more to do with a card game than it has to do with anything else in the world. I believe what the proverb is referring to is our lives. See, our lives are a series of decisions that we make. Just like when we roll the dice, or just like when we draw more cards in a poker game. Are we actually doing it from a position of knowledge, or are we doing it just to see what happens? Now, obviously, if I knew how the card hand was going to go, then I would make different decisions, perhaps. If I knew how the dice were going to land, would I still make the same bets? Or would I change my strategy? You see, with our lives, we do a lot of the same thing. We think, well, I'll try this and see what happens. And when we make these decisions on our own, we're throwing the dice. But the thing we have to remember is that God is in control. And God is going to control how those dice go. And if we're not seeking His guidance, if we're not seeking His direction, then we have a harder time landing with where we want to be. Wouldn't it make sense to ask God what He wanted, what the outcome was going to be before we ever started? If you knew every time you walked up to a poker table that you were going to lose money, would you continue to do so? But if you knew that a decision that you were making in your life was beneficial and that it was going to be the right thing in God's eyes, would you stop and go a different direction? Or would you follow after Him and allow Him to direct your steps and guide you safely through life? So instead of next time, just when it comes to a life decision, just tossing the dice, stop. Seek God's face. Ask Him for direction on where you should go. Ask Him whether you should toss the dice or whether you should walk away from the table. Because He's the one that knows whether you'll hit a lucky 7 or you'll just crap out. Our prayer for today: Father, thank you that you guide and direct my steps, even when I just throw the dice. I trust that the Lord's spoken to you through this message today. If so, hit like and share and send it to a friend. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you here again tomorrow. Have a great day. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and check us out. Surf around, and if you like what you see, do me a favor and mash that subscribe button and hit the bell.